AP KYIV, Ukraine. It is difficult to imagine the disastrous invasion coming to an end anytime soon after the foreign minister of Ukraine stated on Monday that his country wants a summit to end the war but does not expect Russia participating. Dmytro Kuleba, the foreign minister of Ukraine, told the Associated Press that his country intends to hold a peace meeting at the UN in the next 2 months with António Guterres serving as the mediator. Kuleba asserted that before his nation can hold direct discussions with Moscow, Russia must appear before a war crimes tribunal. However, he argued that other countries should feel free to interact with Russians, as it did prior to the two countries' grain agreement. The results of President Volodymyr Zelenskyy's visit to the United States last week were also praised by Kuleba, who also expressed his complete satisfaction with them. Kuleba also disclosed that the United States had devised a special plan to have the Patriot missile battery operational in the nation in less than 6 months. The training often lasts up to a year. Kuleba stated that Ukraine will make every effort to prevail in the 2023 conflict during the interview at the Foreign Ministry. Every conflict concludes diplomatically, he asserted. The decisions made on the battlefield and at the negotiating table determine how every war is resolved. No Ukrainian peace plan can be successful, according to a Kremlin spokesman, who made the statement last week. He was alluding to Moscow's demand that Ukraine acknowledge Russia's sovereignty over the Crimean Peninsula, which it annexed in 2014, as well as other territorial advances. The peace summit, according to Kuleba, should take place by the end of February. The United Nations may be the ideal location for this conference because it is not intended to curry favor with any particular nation, he suggested. Getting everyone on board is really the main goal here. When asked if Russia would receive an invitation to the summit from Ukraine, he responded that Moscow would first have to stand trial for war crimes before an international tribunal. Kuleba remarked, "They can only be invited to this step in this manner." In reference to the Secretary General of the United Nations, Kuleba stated, "He has demonstrated himself to be an effective mediator and an effective negotiator, and most significantly, as a man of principle and honesty. Therefore, we would appreciate his active involvement." There were no quick comments from the UN spokesman's office. Other world leaders, such those in Turkey and Saudi Arabia, have also offered to mediate. The Russian government's remarks that they are prepared for discussions were once more minimized by the foreign minister. Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, stated a few days ago that his nation is prepared for negotiations to stop the war in Ukraine, but implied that the Ukrainians are the ones who are resisting. Despite Putin's remarks, Moscow's soldiers have continued to invade Ukraine, indicating that peace is not close at hand. Zelenskyy's travel to the United States was his first overseas excursion since the war began on February 24. Kuleba highlighted the importance of the visit while praising Washington's efforts. During the trip, Ukraine obtained a fresh $1.8 billion military aid package that included a Patriot missile battery. The action opens the door for other governments to do the same, according to Kuleba. Kuleba simply stated that it will be very much less than 6 months, but he did not provide a timeline. Furthermore, he said that the training would take place outside of Ukraine. Kuleba has been second only to Zelenskyy in communicating Ukraine's message and needs to an international audience during Russia's land and air conflict in Ukraine, whether through Twitter posts or talks with supportive foreign officials. On Monday, Ukraine urged UN members to deny Russia the right to be a permanent member of the Security Council and to expel it from the international organization. According to Kuleba, they have been preparing for this step to expose the deception and deprive Russia of its standing for a long time. He told the AP, "This is the start of an uphill battle, but we will fight, because nothing is impossible."